Hey, this is your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of the Never Ever Met. Season 2, Episode 7. Sex, Lies, and Everything is on tape. Okay. If you're new here, welcome. We do reviews here. All right. You are returning. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, now, give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe, and comment to my channel. And we will begin. This little shirt is getting on my nerves. Oop, got my little logo on there. Sorry about that. Anyway, so Brandon and Kiki are cuddling on the couch. Finally, that he got some kind of any kind of attention. Brandon, he got any kind of attention from Kiki. Jesus, cause honey, it was sad, boy. It was sad. Anyway, and so Tatiana and Clavassi is cuddling upstairs. So, and Cinco is getting his scalp greased like by Jay. His scalp greased. Okay. I ain't think women grease the scalps, but yeah, he's getting his scalp greased by Jay. Jay said that Clay got drunk, and he said his best friend is a porno star. Okay. There was no reason for you to give that information to all these people. Okay. Nobody needed to know she was a porno star. Nobody needed to know that, and that was nobody's business. Okay, why you bragging about your best friend being a porno star? Unless you smashed it. Okay, unless you smashed it. So, but Cinco said he said he never smashed it. Okay, Jay said I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that either. Why you bragging about her being a porno star unless you smashed it? Okay, let us know. Let us know. Um, I'm quite sure you smashed it when you was in better shape, right, fresh out the military, cause you you need to get something better. Okay. Anyway, I can't talk. I can't talk anyway. Okay, so that's neither here nor there. Okay. Anyway, so Kiki asked Brett, did Ty ever talk about the boom boom room? She said, yeah, but I'm not there yet with him. Brett, I do believe you're not attracted to him. I do believe you're not attracted to him. I do. I do believe that. Okay. Yeah. I do believe that. For whatever reason, you are not attracted to him. Okay, that's my opinion though. So the doorbell rings. Okay, so Chris answers the doorbell, and lo and behold, it's Jamila, the porn star. All right, all right. Yes, honey, it is Jamila, the porn star. Okay. And Chris more excited to see her than Clay. Okay, his he had his smile went from ear to ear, honey. Okay, okay. He more excited to see Clay best friend than Clay. Okay, but whatever the case may be, when Jamila saw Clay, she ran up and she gave him a hug, and he picked her up. And I think one leg wrapped around him. I know both legs didn't wrap around him unless they cut that out. But it looked like one leg, but he kind of picked her up, and so that's how they got into that position. Okay. Chris was like, "Well, let the games begin, honey," because I think after he saw that hug, he was just like, "Okay, we'll see what happened." So Britt tells Cinco and Jay she go creeping in there because it was some people that was saw when she ran up to him and hugged him. Um, so Britt tells Cinco and Jay that she wrapped a leg around him, not both legs, a leg around him when he picked her up. Okay, but Charlie, instigator. Okay, instigator. She said she wrapped both legs around him. Okay. And Chris and Alexis. Well, Chris seen the hug, so I don't even know why he dumbstruck, but he seen the hug. Okay, so I don't know. So Jay tells Tatiana that she wrapped her legs around him. So Clay goes outside and talking to Jamila, and so he tells Jamila that he has not told Tatiana about the 3 month old baby, and he also is meeting her mom tonight. And so then Tatiana come out with her boots on. Oh, okay. With her boots on, okay. Okay. And she confronts Clay and Jamila. She said that was disrespectful. Um, she said you hugging my man, and and you have your legs wrapped around her and him and all that. And she was like, I didn't have my legs wrapped around her, but she was like, okay, all right, it's fine, it's fine. She was like, so stay the hell off my man, respect me before it comes a problem, ho. I said, damn, okay. So Jamila was like this, like, damn, okay. She said, that doesn't seem like a good mother figure for your child. And so she was like, it's countless pictures of us hugging on the internet and stuff like that. But apparently he wasn't in a relationship with Tatiana at that time. I guess. I don't know, honey. But Jamila says she's barbaric. Jamila, you need to shut your mouth, child. You need to shut your mouth. Clay said, well, maybe you should leave. And then they hug again. And the girls gassing Tatiana up. Did he come and check on you? And she was like, not at all. He didn't come check on you. He's still out there with that girl. He didn't come check on you. I said, well, women, boy, they gonna gas you up. So the guys were sitting around talking about, listen, Chris was like, listen, I was with you until, she wrapped her legs around you, then I wasn't with you after that. And so somebody, I think Brandon said, did you apologize yet? And so Clay was like, I didn't have a chance. And so Jared was like, okay, well, go in there and take your ass whooping. Take your ass whooping like a man. And so Clay goes in there. He said, I apologize for what my friend. No, he said, I apologize. He said, but my friend told me to buy you the flowers. And so Tatiana was like, don't talk to me about her. And I agree with that, honey. Don't be bringing her name up in no more conversations, okay? That's not how you win it, okay? It's not how you win it. Don't be bringing her name up in no more conversation. And so then he was just like, well, this the better time than any. Well, I got a 3-month old daughter. And she was like, that's some bullshit there. Some bullshit there. That's some bullshit. There you go.
Why the fuck you lying?
Okay. So she was just like, man, she was like, you are so stupid. She was like, she said, I don't even give a fuck about the kid. She said, you made me look stupid. And then he said, well, did you see her jump in my arms? No, she did not. And she said, well, that's what they told me. And he said, well, who was they? And then she was like, fuck this shit. I'll walking off. But I mean, you didn't see it. Not to say that it didn't happen, but you didn't see it. Okay. But I don't think they lied to you. I think they exaggerated the moment. Okay, that's what I think. They didn't. I'm not gonna say that they lied to you because she did. He did pick her up, and that one leg came. But I think they exaggerated it. I exaggerated it. I don't know why I can't speak no more. So then Tatiana's mama come. She give her a hug. She start crying. Oh my God. I felt so bad for her and the mama. Mom meets Cavassier. Cavassier apologizes to the mom and to the daughter for upsetting them or for upsetting Tatiana. And so Tatiana dismisses Clay. Okay, she dismisses him. Okay, and so I think her name was Shanna. She said the mom was like, we know what you deserve, nothing but the best. And and then the mama started to cry. And then Tatiana was like, well, what would you do? She said, I will stay here, have a good time. I know that's right, mama. I know that's right, Mom Dukes. And Tatiana said, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. So, um, so later on, they're in the kitchen, and Britt is kind of like, I won't say flirting, but she is basically, trying to tickle Cinco and stuff like that, just playing with him. And so Jay in the confessional saying Britt is touchy feely with all the guys except for Ty. Except for Ty. Okay, she ain't touchy feely nowhere near on him. But she touchy feely. I don't know if she touchy feely on Clay either. I don't know. She may be. But I don't think she's attracted to Ty. I don't think so. You know. I don't think she just wanted to be spoiled. She wanted to be pampered and all that other stuff. But I don't think she's attracted to Ty. Well, maybe if her love language is like acts of service or whatever, then maybe he not doing enough for her to be attracted to him. I don't know. I really don't think she attracted to him. Anyway, so the next day, Tatiana spells F-U in the roses he bought. Okay? So it embarrassed him like it embarrassed her when her his best friend came. Okay, so then they'll go to the kitchen. So Tatiana said, you ain't even check her when she was here. I want you to call her and tell her what she did was wrong. So Clay making a phone call. Now, mind you, Jay, Cinco, Kiki, Britt, and it probably some more folks is in there watching him make this phone call. And she wanted him to be on speakerphone too. So Clay, she answered, and so Clay said, "The shit we did yesterday, excuse me, the shit we did yesterday wasn't cool." And so Jamila was like, we've been best friends since we 7 years old. I always hugged you. And then Tatiana was like, that wasn't a regular hug. Don't play dumb. Don't be playing dumb. And so Jamila said, I didn't wrap my legs around him. And then Tatiana said, did y'all see that? Radio silence. Okay. Why? Because most of them didn't see it. Okay. And most of them, or some of them exaggerated what they saw. Okay. So nobody said nothing. Okay. Everybody didn't see shit now. Okay. So Jamila was like, your tax bracket is way below mine. I don't behave this way.
Shut up, bitch.
You ain't have to say that, Jamila. You ain't have to say that. I was with you until you said this shit here. Okay, I was with you because you only put that little one leg, and it wasn't a whole leg. It was just a half a leg. Okay, I was with you until you said this shit here. Now I ain't with you no more. Okay, because because she ain't a porn star. You know she can't make no money. Is that it? Okay, and that I wouldn't be bragging about how you make your money anyway. But Tatiana said, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a porn star, Clay." And then she was like, "Clay, well, do you think it's fine? Do you think it's fine?" And Cinco was like, "No, say no." And then Clay like radio silent, holding the phone. I'm like, what the hell? It's just like crickets everywhere. It's like crickets everywhere. Oh my God. He like, and so Tatiana yelling, talking about let her know. Let her know. And so Clay like, I think it was wrong. He didn't say loud or nothing. I think it was wrong. Tatiana was like, listen, you ain't protecting me. You ain't. She said, I got my back. Even if you don't, I got my back. Okay. And so Clay hangs up and walks out. But oh, come on, y'all. Radio silence everywhere. Okay. Um, Tati tells Kiki she wants to go to therapy. So Ty, excuse me, takes Britt on a date to his apartment in LA. He making some crab legs. He done got, the little sign. Oh, hello. Okay, hello, Jesus. He got a little sign going and everything like that. So, but Britt in the confessional saying she trying to find the chemistry that they have over the phone. Girl, you know you ain't attracted to him. So anyway, so Dr. Allie talks to Clay and Tatiana about him lying in his best friend. So Clay said he got PTSD and anxiety from his deployment. Okay, he said, and he just want peace. He ain't trying to argue or nothing like that. He just want peace. And so Dr. Allie said, well, just wanting peace is avoidance. That's a new one. Okay. That's a good point. That's a good thing. Because I just want peace, but I think I do avoid a lot of. I do pick my battles. I do pick my battles, man. I do pick my battles because sometimes it ain't even worth fighting over. Okay, you got it, you got it. Because I just want peace. So I do. Okay, so I do avoid a lot of stuff. Then okay, I'm sorry. I just don't want to deal with it. And anybody else like that? I just don't want to deal. You know, because what if you get to arguing, and you don't come to no conclusion? Then what? I ain't happy about that. Is anybody else like that? And I know I can't be the only one. Cause I'm with Clay. I just want peace. But I guess peace is some level of avoidance. I understand. I just don't want to deal with it. I just want to be happy. Okay. I just had to get that out. Okay. So anyway, like I said, peace is avoidance. She said you'll be surprised what comes from a difficult conversation. I know, but I don't feel like having that difficult conversation. But I guess I should, huh? Okay. Anyway, so Dr. Ellie, I need for you to come talk to me. Anyway, so Dr. Ellie said, "Well, where are we now?" And so Tatiana said, "I feel hurt and upset, and and if he doesn't care about me, then he just needs to say that. Don't keep playing in my face." I agree with that one now. If you don't care about me. And Dr. Alley said, "It's your job, Clay, to make her feel trust in you again. Are you willing to fix this relationship or are you done?" Tatiana's like, "I don't know. I don't know." So, and then they just leave. Dr. Alley was like, "Oh, okay. All right, I guess." He said, "Thank you." Okay. They just leave. Anyway, so Shanta is Chris' cousin. And he been his cousin since they was in the sandbox. You know how Chris Country has it. "Yeah, we been cousin. We been in the sandbox together." Okay. All right now. I don't know what kind of sandbox y'all talking about. Y'all, you real country if you in the sandbox, okay? You real country. And Maya or Mania, Alex is Alexa's friend, and she brought condoms. Okay, so Chris goes talk to Shanta. Okay, he said it's a 10-year age difference between him and Alexis, and so Shanta was like, "Yeah, I thought she was a bit cougarish." I said, "Oh no, you didn't." But he said, "I dated, older women before." He said, "But she's controlling and aggressive." And he said she pushes the sex agenda too hard. And he said she needs to be more submissive. And Alexis says Chris, when she talking to Manta, and she said, or Maya. I don't know what the child name is. We're going to call her Maya because I don't really know what her name is. I don't want to call her Manta because that ain't her name either. Mania? I don't know. We're going to call her Maya. We're going to call her Alexis' friend. That's what it is. Alexis' friend. Well, Alexis was talking to her friend and she was like, "Chris ain't even about sex." She said, "I ain't never had to work this hard for no young dick. I ain't never had to work with any whore." No, because the young ones usually just come with it. But if he's not attracted to you, which he's not, then it'll be harder. Okay. So Alexa's friend talks to Chris, and Chris said she beautiful, but she need to be more fit. So he not attracted to you. He was attracted to Jamila though. He was attracted to Jamila. Yeah, he was definitely attracted to Jamila, but he not attracted to you, baby. You got a little pouch, and that's what you get when you get older anyway. So it's gonna be hard. You in perimenopause. It's gonna be hard for you to get rid of that, baby. You just gotta find you another young one. Brandon like thick women. Brandon like thick women. You go on over there to Brandon. Kiki got a boyfriend anyway. She in love with her boyfriend. Go on over there to Brandon. Brandon like softness and stuff like that. Chris don't. Chris needs you to be physically fit. And I don't think nobody is physically fit on there except for Jamila who walked in. But she got to be physically fit because she's a porno star. Okay, you can't be having no pouches and stuff laid up, rolls and stuff. No, you can't be having that. So yeah, he was definitely attracted to her. He ain't attracted to I don't think he attracted to anybody in the house because nobody is like physically fit. I think Jay could be. I think she's the most physically fit in the house, and I think then Tatiana comes next. You know, that's it. Yeah, yeah. No, nobody's really physically fit in the house. Nobody. I think Jay is the closest thing to physically fit. I think so. Um, and she not really that physically fit, but she the closest thing. Anyway, so Shanta tells Alexis that he Chris likes her, but her mouth is you know he don't like her mouth. Whatever. Tatiana and Clay play chess. Tatiana giving Clay one word answers. She just being petty. But I mean, he hurt your feelings. I'm not listen. I ain't mad at you being petty. He hurt your feelings, and so she said, "Can you give me some juice?" And he said, "Okay." And then he tried touching. He said, "Don't." She said, "Don't touch me." So then Ty and Britt comes back from eating crab legs and stuff like that. Brandon whispers, "Well, did you give him some? Did you give some to this man?" And Britt was like, "Fuck no." Because you're not attracted to him. She said that is not happening. And so Alexis in the confessional talking about the least compatible is Britt and Ty. No, baby, the least compatible is you and Chris. I I don't know where you got that from. Least compatible is you and Chris. Okay. No, no, no. I beg to differ on that. Least compatible is you and Chris. So they all sat down to eat. Chris asked Clay and Tati how was therapy. Tatiana said it was good. Clay looking crazy. And so Cinco said, you straight. I'm talking to Clay. And Clay was like, well, it's been a long day. I got up earlier. And, I'm just ready to go to bed. And Tatiana, she yawns or whatever. And so he said, you ready to go to bed? And then Tatiana said, not with you. Oh, not with you. Okay. So then he gets up from the table, pouts, and whines and goes upstairs and packs his thing because she not gonna play in her face as much as you played in her face. She not gonna play in yours. So if she ain't gonna get with it, she ain't gonna get over it this night, then there's no reason for us to be here. That's basically what he's saying. If you ain't gonna get over it tonight, then there's no reason for us to be here. So she go and pack his bag or whatever. So Jared was like, "Listen, he wants attention. I'm not falling for this shit. I'm not chasing after him." So Brandon and Cinco and Chris go running after him. And so Clay said, I'm going home. So, so I'm sorry. It is thundering and lightning over here. It's crazy around here. So Cinco, so he said, she's just mad. She embarrassed. You know, she's just hurt in front of all these people. She said she really loves you. And he was like, I don't want to waste my time here. And then Chris was like, well, if you leave, you wasted your time. Love Chris. You leave, you wasted your time. And so Cinco was like, we closer to the finish line than ever before. So, you can't make a good decision off emotion. So, just sleep on it, or whatever. So Clay talks to Tati, talking about, I don't want to waste my time. And so Tatiana basically said, you being a big man baby, and I agree with that. Okay, I agree with that. And she said, if you want to go home, let me know. And then they in the kitchen, and they talking amongst now all the other people in the kitchen, and they talking. They were like, he just gotta wait it out. He just gotta wait it out. And Jay was like, he too immature. His ego was bruised. His pride was hurt. So no. So Clay was like, well, I started packing, and so Tatiana was like, well, do you want to go? Yes or no? And so Clay was like, no, I don't. She was like, okay, because I'm going back downstairs so I can have a good night. And so then Clay was like, oh, so I can leave now? And she was like, yeah, you can leave now. And so then she was like, I guess we got to go tell everybody. And so she was just like, and so she went downstairs and she was just like, she made an announcement that, he want to leave because because his feelings is hurt. let me tell you what Tatiana should have said. He want to leave because he pouting. He a big ass baby, and he think I should get over this in two shakes of a lamb's tail, and he done drop bomb after bomb after bomb on me, and he think I'm gonna get over this just in a blink of an eye. No, I'm not doing it. So he want to go home because now he can't get whatever he want to get now. So he want to go home. Okay. So he can't get no cuddles. He can't get no nothing. He can't fill me up. He can't do nothing. I don't even want him touching me. So he want to go home now because he got a baby at home anyway. So he need to go home anyway because he need to take care of his baby. That's what she should have said. Anyway, but she didn't say all that. But she said, he won't go home. So she starts to pack. And then at the end of the episode, Jerry saying the honeymoon stage for them is over. And Charlie needs to know his true feelings. So we'll see what his true feelings is later on this week, okay? So give me a thumbs up, like and share, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.